Binfuk Education and Training Department. This is the listening section. There are two parts in this section. You will hear each part twice. After each part, you will have a 10-second pause to do.
Part 1. Questions from 1 to 10. Listen to the recording twice. Complete the notes below. Write no more than one word or number for each answer.
You will hear a man called Jack giving advice to a friend about surfing holidays.
Jack, I'm thinking of taking the kids to the seaside on a surfing holiday this summer, and I wanted to ask your advice, as I know you're such an expert.
Well, I don't know about that. But yes, I've done a bit of surfing over the years. I'd thoroughly recommend it. I think it's the kind of holiday all the family can enjoy together. The thing about surfing is that it's great for all ages and all abilities. My youngest started when he was only 3.
Wow! But it's quite physically demanding, isn't it? I've heard you need to be pretty fit.
Yes, you'll certainly learn more quickly and won't tire as easily.
Well, that should be okay for us. You've been surfing a few times in Ireland, haven't you?
Yes, there's some great surfing there, which people don't always realise.
And which locations would you recommend? There seem to be quite a few.
Yes, there are loads. Last year we went to County Donegal. There are several great places to surf there.
What about in County Clare? I read that's also really good for surfing.
Yes, it is. I've been there a few times. Most people go to Lahinch. My kids love it there. The waves aren't too challenging and the town is very lively.
Are there good hotels there?
Yes, some very nice ones. And there are also a few basic hostels and campsites. It's great if you need lessons, as the surf schools are excellent.
Sounds good.
Yes, and there's lots to see in the area, like those well-known cliffs. I've forgotten the name of them.
Oh, don't worry. I can look them up.
I've also been surfing in County Mayo, which is less well known for surfing, but we had a really good time. That was a few years ago when the kids were younger. There's a good surf school at Caroniski Beach.
How do you spell that?
CARROWNISKEY.
Okay.
I put the kids into the surf camp they run during the summer for 10 to 16-year-olds.
Oh, right. How long was that for?
3 hours every day for a week. It was perfect. They were so tired out after that.
I can imagine.
One thing we did while the kids were surfing was to rent some kayaks to have a look around the bay, which is nearby. It's really beautiful.
Oh, I'd love to do that. Now, the only time I went to Ireland, it rained practically every day.
Yes, that can be a problem. But you can surf in the rain, you know.
It doesn't have the same appeal somehow.
Well, the weather's been fine the last couple of years when I've been there. But actually, it tends to rain more in August than in the spring or autumn. September's my favourite month because the water is warmer then.
The only problem is that the kids are back to school then.
I know. But one good thing about Irish summers is that it doesn't get too hot. The average temperature is about 19 degrees, and it usually doesn't go above 25 degrees.
That sounds all right. Now, what about costs?
Surfing is a pretty cheap holiday, really. The only cost is the hire of equipment. You can expect to pay a daily rate of about €30 for the hire of a wetsuit and board. But you can save about €40 if you hire by the week.
That's not too bad.
No. It's important to make sure you get good quality wetsuits. You'll all get too cold if you don't. And make sure you also get boots. They keep your feet warm. and it's easier to surf with them on too.
Okay, well, thanks very much for that.
Now, look at part 2.
Part 2. Questions from 11 to 15. You will listen to 5 dialogues or talks, each dialogue or talk, followed with a question. Choose the correct answer from A, B, or C for each question.
Question 11.
You will hear 2 friends talking about a hotel.
How was your stay at the Grand Hotel?
Great. I could see the mountains from my bedroom window. They looked so beautiful.
You definitely got a better room than I did when I stayed there last year. All I could see was a brick wall. The hotel restaurant could be better too.
It could, but I found a wonderful place to eat nearby, so it didn't matter.
The people who work there are very cheerful though.
They certainly made me feel welcome, and room service were really helpful too, not like some hotels where the employees hardly smile at all. Question 12.
You will hear 2 friends talking about an art exhibition.
I enjoyed that exhibition. I think that style of painting's really original.
I agree, although I prefer exhibitions with fewer works of art to see so you can spend more time looking at each one. I felt like I was hurrying from one painting to the next in order to see them all. It's a shame there weren't a few more windows in there. I actually found it quite hard to see some of the paintings.
Yes, me too. But we certainly got value for money.
That's true. I'm surprised they weren't charging more, actually. Question 13.
You will hear 2 friends talking about a book they've read.
I finished that book you lent me.
Did you enjoy it?
Not as much as I thought I would, actually. I'm into books where you learn a bit about the main characters, but there's also plenty going on. I wasn't so keen on reading whole chapters about their thoughts, however interesting the people are.
Yes, those sections were pretty long, I guess, and not much happened in them, which is a bit of a shame. I must admit that the ending came as a complete surprise, though.
It was the only part of the book that I really enjoyed reading.
Question 14.
You will hear a woman telling a friend about a visit to the hairdresser's.
You don't look happy. What's up?
I've just been to the hairdresser's. I'm really disappointed.
Oh? Your hair doesn't look that different, actually.
Exactly. I explained clearly what I wanted, but the guy who did it just smiled and started cutting. He only worked on it for a few minutes. It's usually good in there, very organised, you know, not lots of hair left all over the floor like in some places.
Why didn't you complain?
I know. Now I'll have to get it done again soon, so it was hardly worth what I had to pay.
Oh dear.
Question 15.
You will hear a woman telling a friend about her singing class.
Hi Ellie, how are your singing classes going?
Great, thanks. We're doing a concert next month. I hope we'll be ready. I couldn't sing at all before I started, and I never thought I'd be able to perform in public.
Good for you.
It helps that the group isn't very big. That's actually why I chose the class, because the teacher can spend so much time with each person. It's amazing that I've improved so much, and I don't worry at all anymore about singing with people who are much better than me.
I must come to your concert.
Great!